There's no better way to start out the even field between all of the conventions down here. The only reason why I'm down here for 4 days in Miami is to have a grand old cosplaying time, and it's impossible since Miami has some way to squeeze the ever-loving crap out of you of all the money you have. Is it worth picking out 5 cosplays just to be in Miami for Otaku Fest? Yes, it actually is worth it. The only issue is, it's still in Miami. Hope you're ready to see the same game show panels because that's essentially 90% of all of Otaku Fest's panels. The other 5% is in, like, I don't know, an anime viewing room, and actually the other 5% is actually worth it. The best redeeming quality is that Otaku Fest has 18 plus events, which if you don't have that in Miami, are you even an anime convention at all? Let's just pretend 2024 never happened, because God forbid, if I ever had to go down there for Miami Beach again for some particular reason, I'm gonna have to explode. Western Wasteland, and it's all Western stuff. This con caters a lot of celebrities, but if you're a wallflower, it'll be overwhelming for you, and if you're alone, well, there's so much to do and so much to see and so much to consume. Many say this is an oversized vendor hall, and that's so true. Good luck finding the artists that you want to buy, because you have to go through the army of people who don't practice good hygiene, or let alone social awareness that are blocking the walking path. This con also gives you the ultimate workout and tests how far you'll be able to walk in cosplay, because going from point A to point B just to see that one panel that you're probably going to miss, it's going to take at least 30 minutes of you walking from, I don't know, the fucking building each side. The most embarrassing thing about this convention is that it shuts down everything at 7 o'clock and has the audacity to host an after party with no re-entry, so if you're inside the party, that you have no way to get inside. Yeah, thanks. The Mega and MegaCon is not an exaggeration. Mega is fun if you're old enough to drink and have a disposable income to meet the plethora of celebrities and to go to the after parties down in Orlando, like Senior Frogs or something. MegaCon is not for broke people. If you can afford your tickets in a hotel, then they'll most likely be eating McDonald's for the next 4 days. Hope you figured out that 2 Happy Meals is exactly filling enough for your entire day, assuming you can last 4 days of literally the same thing. This convention is like 10 minutes away from me, and it is the most worthless experiences ever. Barely I can remember anything of not opening the whole building one year, and then opening the whole building the next year. What? It's one big vendor hall, but other than that, it's nothing else. And charging so much, and even have a $200 VIP pass for fucking nothing, it's just so poetic. And as far as I know, this con doesn't even have any panels. Can you even call yourself a convention if you don't have any panels? At least there's free parking. I mean, that's good. For a water themed convention, it's so funny because how do you not have it next to a beach or a giant pool to have epic pool parties or some shit? Hope the next barbecue shows up so I can show them the grill master I am. It's something, but it's good enough to pass. It's made by the loveliest staff who made Anime EY, so that's good on you, because I appreciate you guys. But the funny thing is, this con is interesting because it shows me not a lot of people know how to swim in Florida. And I'm like, if you don't know how to swim in Florida, what the fuck are you doing? This whole convention is just an absolute shit show, and I don't know if anyone else has ever been to this con before, or let alone heard about it. And the fact that it's just held at one giant dance hall and nothing else just shows that St. Pete has some way to outstupid themselves for the rest of Florida. The idea of a horror-themed con, but the only thing I see is Halloween, Resident Evil, and Scream just really shows me that nobody knows what true horror is. The Florida Man. This made me stop using Airbnb as a whole because it had fleas, and my friends and I got no compensation for it, so thanks for nothing, St. Pete. What a lovely convention. For one night and one night only, it's exactly what I need to let loose and shrug off the nothing, and just waiting for my next con adventure or something like that. 18 plus cosplay events are slowly dying down, and that makes me so worried, but this one is fucking awesome, because no matter where you go, the music's always following you, with an awesome bands and such like that. I really dig it. Just make sure you're sober enough to realize there's a Smash Bros. Tournament in the balcony. Although, trying to compete while there's a lot of loud music and bumping people around you in every corner really makes it difficult for being hype and all. I really hope to see this con again someday because it's awesome. There's a reason why this is labeled Baby's First Anime Convention. Back then, when they were super hype and nobody gave a shit and it made you let loose, this convention meant everything and all. And back then, when the pool parties were being held at the hotel pools, it made everything awesome until someone puked. And now you have a compelling story to tell for the entire weekend with other cosplayers. This is a party convention, so I kept my expectations so stupidly low, and won't be surprised that karaoke is once again having technical difficulties for the billionth time. Fucking pathetic. You being paired up with GalaxyCon is such a fine example of your hollow existence. I have a better time bashing my face against Metrocon's dance floor than to be into this shit again. To make it sound like there's a bunch of anime side on this con, when a lot of it is just Western stuff and just Western media, it's just unacceptable. I feel like I'm being lied to, and I don't like it when conventions lie to me like that. The fact that you used the whole Miami Airport Convention Center and made Artist Alley upstairs is so unacceptable and far away from the con scene that just made me sick to my fucking stomach. Anime and GalaxyCon as a whole is like that one weirdo that tries to fit in your friend group. They're such a laughing stock and a punching bag, you want to accept them just to make fun of them. For the last time, you cannot outrank Otaku Fest. Get the fuck out of Florida. There is never a reason to go to Jacksonville. Bold of you to assume I'd make my way north of Florida just to have a good old cosplaying time. Let me just make sure my car is bulletproof from the Mafia. They probably saw the skunk ape one time and are on edge forever. I'm pretty convinced that Jacksonville is just Gotham City without Batman. Boy, I wish we figured out time travel so we can go back and have the good old days again. How the mighty have fallen. ReedPop is like the cheese touch of all convention companies. The second they touch something, it makes it infinitely worse. I'll admit, it was really good back in the day, but now over the years you can slowly see it go downhill, a former shell of itself, really. Every time I hear something about SuperCon, it's either dead as fuck or not a whole lot of anime to cater it, even though that's what they're trying to advertise themselves, but they're not doing well enough. Here's an idea. How about you move back to Fort Lauderdale instead of Miami Beach? Nobody wants to be in Miami Beach. And by the time you find parking all the way down there, the con's over. I mean, you have wasted your day just trying to get inside. After all, ReedPop, you could do something about it to make it worth my time and effort to actually show up down there with the low attendance and people barely cosplaying in there, treating it like a giant, I don't know, a shopping mall or something. But no, you choose not to because you're too busy figuring out how you can make New York Comic Con even worse. Anything you touch dies. Your only redeeming quality is I like 2024. No amount of meme marketing will ever make me go back there. I'm gonna be a little bit biased when I say this. This is one of my favorite cons ever going to. This is my third favorite con. And it has a special place in my heart because it's the first convention I ever went to when I moved back here. I know, I gotta get this out. Every year when I have to roll back in Tampa, something stupid happens. It's either raining really hard outside, which happens every year, someone messes up the fire show, and there's probably a religious protest out there telling us that God hates cosplayers and everything else. But forget all that. This is Florida. Anything stupid can happen at any given moment. Knowing this is the best con for me because many things happen when I always come back here. I met a bunch of amazing cosplayers who love Chainsaw Man as much as I do. I just figured out that I can still breakdance and bust a move, and I met someone very important to me that I can never talk to ever again only because I found their lost pass at the rave. It's just absolutely phenomenal. It continues to grow every year, but it could still be better. The only thing I would say is getting into Artist Alley is a pain in the ass and a real bitch to do, because they treat it like the Hunger Games, and no one likes to do that because, well, that's their fucking job, obviously. Although, bold of you to claim yourself Florida's largest anime con when Holiday Matsuri is just a few months away. Think Metro, remove the anime aspects, you got a boring generic convention. The only spirit I feel is the lingering waste of whatever SuperCon was left over. Proud of you for actually bringing in your A game for this. Meeting the Japanese voice actors for One Piece was actually really cool. Too bad the other half is a virtual meet and greet, which isn't anything better, by the way. It's already bad enough I had to see a bunch of VTubers take up a slot for, I don't know, an actual person with flesh and bones, an actual voice actor taking up that spot. Instead, I had to go walk past them and pretend I didn't notice them, because it's very embarrassing how that keeps happening in every convention. It's also way too expensive, and it's also in Miami Beach, so 0 out of 10, suck my nuts, Miami. This is a damn good convention. It's also a comfortable one too, and it's also a hangout convention. It's even got its own prelude called Mini EY, which is a great hangout before the AstroCon starts, which not a lot of conventions do that, but it's really fun. It's also a convention that's built in with the hotel, which is actually necessary and really, really convenient for all of us. Not a lot of people know that, but you would know. Too bad the hotel parties keep actively getting shut down, and you know what? That's totally fair. It's not on them, it's us. They have no control of it, and I understand it's just a hangout convention and all that, but, we can get too rambunctious, you know? The staff here are the most incredible people ever, and I just love this convention so much. I just want to tell them, hey, you did a damn good job every year. Keep up the great work. Too bad as of making this video and as of writing this script, it turns out Anime EY this year is just 1 day only. And it's not even a mini EY, which is very concerning. This community-based convention just makes it as like a checkpoint to the other 2 out of 10 conventions that's happening this year. And it's really sad to see this like in a weird state, but here's hoping for the best for the future, because this is one convention I'll never forget. Spectacular, and you know why? Otaku Fest has some way to outdo themselves even after regular Otaku Fest is over, and then doing it in December of all things, which is actually a really huge gamble, I'm not gonna lie. Let's think of it this way. If you can't go to a Holiday Matsuri, you can go to this 1 day Otaku Fest holiday special, which you pretty much is the same experience, not gonna lie. But, the reason why this is so much better is Otaku Fest is the best convention in Miami. They know what the fuck they're doing to make a 2 out of 10 convention and almost a 10 out of 10, dare I say. But if you're going to Hallmat, think of it as like a pre-gaming of some sort. It might not be the same correlations whatsoever, but at least there's something fun to do in the month of December, because in Florida, people still think it's summertime down here. Oh wait, it's summertime every day. What am I saying? Even if you didn't have a good time at regular Otaku Fest, I could still recommend this. After all, Otaku Fest is my second favorite convention, and they're always like the best friend that you can always rely on no matter what. Although, bold of you to do this in the month of December when Holomat is just right around the corner, not gonna lie. And finally, we have Holiday Matsuri. Holiday Matsuri is like getting Employee of the Month every month, and somehow they outdo themselves every single year no matter what. Maybe not 2023, but we don't talk about that. The difference between Hallmat and every other 2 out of 10 convention out there in Florida is that Hallmat has everything every adult cosplayer needs to have a grand old good time. No stupid kids after dark, 18 plus events, alcohol, fun panels and events that spark joy to the world. It is a Christmas themed convention after all. If you're a poor sucker that decided to go to Anime Weekend Atlanta instead of Holiday Matsuri, we have every reason to make fun of you. Hallmat doesn't pull any punches when it comes to having fun events, especially the Bro Cafe. There's nothing awakens me more than seeing a bunch of buff dudes covered in oil, giving me the best bro and satisfaction service I ever need. That shit made me want to get stronger and buffer just so I could do that someday. Sure, it might be expensive and it might cost you an arm or a testicle, but it'll be worth it in the end. I really hope that PTO you have made it worth it, because this con is meant to end all your cons of the year and restart the next cycle until the next time you go to Hallmat, because that's how big it is. I went to Holiday Matsuri in 2022 with a bunch of my friends after a bad breakup, and because of that, it made me feel alive again, because it's something I've always wanted to do, and it made me think, maybe every convention in Florida isn't that bad. I mean, after all, I did talk about SuperCon and Animate for like, I don't know, 10 minutes. And that was in the Marriott back then, and it was so much fun. I had a lot of endless stuff to do, and it just kept me awake like every night looking for the next activity I can do. I'm like, yeah, Hallmat's fucking awesome. I'm going every year. And then I felt alive again after what happened to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready to give the world the rim job it deserves. Thank you, Holiday Matsuri. Since we're in the Orange County again this year, be prepared to run everywhere, because trying to get to point A and point B feels like MegaCon all over, and trying to get to Artist Alley is also a pain in the ass. I really hope it's accessible, because what do you mean I can't go through a closed door? You blocking it? It's literally right there, dude. Just let me in. Just don't be mad if I didn't recognize your Christmas Todoroki cosplay. After all, 99% of the cosplays in Holiday Matsuri is Christmas and winter theme. But the 1% doesn't matter, because I don't follow Christmas trends and stuff like that. It doesn't matter to me. I was super duper busy last year when I was in Hallmat in Orlando. Sonic 3 came out the same weekend, so I'm like, shit, I gotta watch Sonic 3 before I go to Hallmat, I guess. And then, well, I technically did, but yeah, I got to meet the Runaway guys, which was part of my dream because I love those guys so much, and I didn't expect to see my favorite YouTubers in here also. I got to see my friends again after so long. We shared a bunch of Christmas gifts, and it was incredible overall. You get to see my pinned video of me getting res in Fortnite, and that's exactly where it happened. Holiday Matsuri is the best convention in Florida. It's not MegaCon or MetroCon, because when every other 2 out of 10 con out here is trying to go through the family-friendly vibe and trying to appeal to the giant corporations, just makes you know that you are a big fucking pussy and you need to expand your horizons and realize that the con scene is also for adults after hours. And if I had to see more unattended children out there, I'm gonna swear I'm gonna go apeshit at this point because oh my god, do I really despise children? But I'll continue to come here every year. I'm not fucking missing Holiday Matsuri on my life. On everyone's soul, we will be there. Well, unless, again, you go to AWA for some fucking reason. But thank you, Holiday Matsuri, for carrying this 11-month period of our 2 out of 10 conventions, poor scheduling, low attendance, and people barely cosplaying at all because they think it's just one giant shopping mall. So I appreciate everything you do, and see you every year.